Hey everyone, it's Larry here at LC Model Shipbuilding, and this is our last episode for the Olympia. So we're going to finish up the boats, a couple minor details. We're going to do the stand, a little bit with the, let's see, the anchors go on in this one, and yeah, a few other things, but that's about it. So thanks for watching. Let's get started. Okay, so let's see. I realized, one, I start all of my segments with okay so I gotta try to fix that. But anyway, onto the model. These davits go right in here onto the side of the hull. I want to check their size because pretty much everything that is supposed to fit into a hole on this build has not, so I'd rather drill it out more now if I need to than when I have glue already on it. And yep, yet again. So I'm going to just make that a little bit bigger, and actually a little bit bigger than that. I'm going to use basically the same size that I used on the portholes. That should be about right. So let me grab my power here. I hate doing this when it's already painted. Okay, no worries. So let me get some glue here, and we're just gonna dip the davit into the glue. Just like that. And there is kind of a support piece that comes out of the deck. I actually need to paint them quick. I did not paint them yet, so they kind of, I believe, support the davit on here. So I'm gonna let them kind of set for a minute. Just want to get that straight. There we go. And then in the meantime, I'm going to get those pieces ready to spray. And they're not big, but they will help to support it. So I need to paint them, and I need to paint the two life rafts that go on the side. The directions call for white, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do white. So I want to kind of look at and see if I can't find any pictures of the real deal and figure out what that shows before I go ahead and paint these. Gotta clean up some flashing on them, and as usual, just about every piece on this build has a fair amount of flashing on it. And it does have some wood in the center here, so I'll paint that brown. But yeah, I want to check that out and figure out if I'm going to go white or what I'm going to do. So we also have two davits that go on the superstructure here, and they go here, basically like that. And these are a little bit smaller, so I'm not going to use the electric drill on them. I think I'm actually just going to kind of scrape off some of the paint so they fit a little bit better. see if that fits. Yes, it does, and I just broke my flag off. That's nice. Luckily, it was just kind of glued on there, so it won't be a big deal to put that back on. Okay, so there's that one. And I'm going to go ahead and do the other one, and I'll do the other side, but I'll probably go ahead and do them off camera just because I'm essentially just doing the exact same thing here, and that's just cleaning off paint and making it so it fits. But anyway, while I'm off camera, I'm going to get those couple little pieces painted up and ready to go. I'm going to figure out what color the rafts should be, and yeah, while they're drying, I'll come back on and we will start to prepare our boats to get hung. So yeah, let me pause it and I will be back. Okay, so while I'm waiting for some pieces to dry, here's what I decided I'm going to do with the stand. So I didn't really want to get real involved into doing anything crazy with this. So this is actually one of those placards that you put your address on. I don't know, I think I got it, I can't remember if I got it at Walmart or Hobby Lobby or where I got it, but it wasn't expensive. It was like $3. So what I'm going to do is drill a hole through it for the wire, and I'm going to stain it, kind of a darker stain here, and then I'm going to glue the stand that came with the kit onto it. So, well, that's not as dark as I wanted. That's not even close to as dark as I wanted. Well, it might take a couple coats. We'll see what happens here. But if not, I'll pick up another stain tomorrow. I definitely was hoping for a little bit darker than this. This barely even looks stained. So yeah, we'll see what that looks like on coat 2, but not quite what I was looking for. But this is just a can of stain that I had sitting in the garage, so it's not like I bought it and expected it to be exactly what I wanted. But it is lighter for sure. But it's soaking right in. I mean, this is obviously pine wood, so it's nothing real fancy or expensive. But and I'm not even bothering to do any real prep work on it, because I was just going to hit it with some clear coat and, like I said, glue the kit stand right on top of it, and that will pretty much be it. So at least I'll have something a little bit better than what it came with, and I think that'll be good. But I have a feeling I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow and get a little bit of a darker stain, because my desk is fairly dark, and yeah, that's not even close. Okay, well, anyway, we'll get that picked up tomorrow, and this project will continue then. All right, we'll be back. All right, so while we're waiting for the, what do you call it? The little things that hold them on, I figure we can go ahead and get our side steps glued on here. And these were just leftover pieces from Bismarck. I think I showed them in a previous video when I was putting them together. But they are pretty much ended up being like a scratch built type setup that I have going on here. Let me just get some glue here, and I basically just took pieces and built the platform and steps and all that good stuff. So that drops down basically right there. And then there is a platform that will come out here, and I'll show you that in a second here once I get this kind of set where it needs to be. Okay, good. All right, now we have a platform here, and that's just going to glue onto the side of the hull and the side of the steps here, basically right there. Okay, and now it has this, which I need to look at. I want to look at the original part and see how I can make this work. So the original part is basically supposed to have stairwell up here. No, it goes at the top of it, I think. Hold on, we're looking here. So that goes there. Okay, so this may go on the top of the step. Let me double check here what the directions look like. Well, they're showing them on the bottom. So I'm all kinds of confused at this point. So that would have gone up there. But it is showing at the top. All right, let me look at a picture quick. I will be right back. Okay, so looking at pictures, now I understand. So yes, this does go down here, and basically we'll go to the side here, and then that's supposed to kind of connect up to that little crane here. So what I'm gonna do is get it glued on, and then I'm going to run a small piece of thread up to that to essentially get the look that we're going for. And that should be fairly easy to do here. The one thing I did just notice is that crane is kind of moving around on me, so I need to re-glue that before I do this, if I don't drop it 30 times. But you know, that's my normal when I'm working. Need more glue. So put a little bit of thread there to finish that off and just connect it, and it should be perfect. Okay, so that's that. And now you can see that. So I'm happy with that. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, and then it'll be about time to start putting the boats on, I do believe. I gotta be a little bit more careful on this side now. I can't lay it completely down. However, I could put it on top of something. I just don't want to knock off that ladder there. Yeah, that'll work. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it and get this one on and set, and then we'll come back and put our boats on. Maybe it'll do our anchors too. Oh, I still got to paint the anchor chain. So the anchor chain needs to be, I want it to be the, because I'm looking at, there's this real nice build I found online, and I want it to be the buff color, because that's how this build was done. And I'm not replicating it 100%, but I'm using it definitely for a lot of inspiration on what I'm doing. Real nice looking build, but yeah, that's what color they have it in that build, is the buff. So I'm going to follow suit with that. And whether that is correct or not, I don't know, but I am trying to follow the peacetime colors. So that's what we're gonna do. Like I said, it could be wrong. I'm sure somebody out there will correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how we're doing it. And yeah, basically is what it is. Okay, almost done with this one. I wasn't planning on filming this part with the second one, but since we're here and we're just about done with it, what the heck, might as well. I think these side steps being in photo etch really added a lot to it too. I'm quite happy with them, actually, as long as I don't knock it off here. Good Lord. Alright. Just gonna hit that with a little bit of accelerator. And I'm going to add my string, rope, whatever we want to call it. And I'm going to go ahead and paint my anchor chain and see how we're coming on the white pieces that I'm waiting on. They should be about done by now. Come on. The problem with CA glue and accelerator, it tends to dry really, really fast. There we go. hoping that's stuck enough to stay on there. Seems to be okay. All right, let me just add some glue there, and then I'm going to pause it, and we will be back. There. All right, perfect. Happy. I shall return. Okay, for the stand, the main reason I really kept the original stand is just the fact that it had the name embossed on it. So for that, I'm just doing some gold paint along the letters here. Just seemed easier than trying to recreate something that I really don't need to do. So we'll use it. And I have a buddy that could have made me a brass nameplate for it and all that, but I really don't want to get into all that. So yeah, we're just gonna use this and add it onto the wood tomorrow once I get the new stain. We'll get it clear coated and pretty and shiny, and it should be fine. I figured simple black though for this part would look good. I wasn't going to try to make it look like it was some kind of fake piece of wood. I've done that before with stands, like I did that with the Lusitania stand, and that actually came out great because it had wood grain in it, so it actually looked like wood. But obviously this doesn't, so it would just kind of probably look tacky if I tried to do that. So we'll go this route. But yeah, basically just showing how I paint letters, I guess. I might have to go and touch up a tiny bit that I had overhang there. And then I'll hit this with my clear coat too, because that kind of just gets everything nice and uniform. But yeah, there we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint up the other side, and I'll be back. This is still kind of tacky, so I'm trying not to get it messed up, and I'm touching it by where it will mount to the ship. So anyway, I'm gonna pause it and I'll be back. Okay, so next step in this little adventure is these little eyelets that I'm going to put on so that I have a place to mount the boats. So these are fairly small, but they aren't too bad. So I'm just going to dip them in glue, and then I'm going to mount one on each end basically, and then what we'll have is not a couple, but a string going back and forth between this and the davit to basically mount it there. And that should give it a pretty nice look. Just want to see how well they stuck. Yep, they're good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put these on the rest of them. And then when we come back, we will go ahead and get them strung up. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it because I'm going to be doing it from above again. It's really hard to do rigging on video. I learned that with Constitution, and this one has been challenging as well. Now, Bismarck had its challenges too with the rigging, just to film it. Like the actual rigging isn't that hard, but trying to show people what I'm doing, that's where the challenge lies. But I'm doing my best with that, so hopefully it helps. Alright, so I'm going to pause it while I go ahead and glue up the rest of these, then we'll bring the boat back and yeah. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put the boats on. I did over on the other side here, you can probably see them already. All I did for these, I tied a string midway as a knot there on each of the eyelets, and to get these on here, all I'm doing is a loop around like this. Come on. And then we're going to bring it so that it's hanging up a little bit farther there. And like an idiot, I cut the pulley off of this one. So I'm going to end up hanging it kind of off of the top. The other side I did not cut because I just decided that I'd use what was there. This one I didn't because I thought I was going to put a photo etch piece on there, and I turned out not to have something that would be sufficient, so I'm just going to have to make do with the string and live with it, but it'll be alright. Minor detail. So we'll do the same thing with this one. Hopefully. The biggest thing with these is we want to get them to be level. You obviously don't want them hanging so that one side's higher than the other, so you just got to be conscious of that as you're doing this. And yeah, that should do. So a little bit of glue again. Pour some more glue on here. And a little touch right there. Alright, now we just got to cut off our excess. Okay, and that boat is on. Now, this last one before it goes on, and I'm going to have to touch up paint these a little bit after the fact here, but they are a little bit of a challenge, not like overly challenging, but you have to get them in the hole back here, kind of set, and then you have to hold it and push it down so that it sets in with the davit like that. Okay, and this one's a little bit smaller, but the same principle here. There. Okay, and like I said, I'm going to touch up paint them just a tiny bit. I'm not overly pleased with how they turned out, but they'll be okay once I hit it with the touch-up paint. Alright, so now we're just going to do the exact same thing with this boat, and once we get this one done, we're pretty much on to just the anchors and then the stand, and this is about done. Crazy enough. And the good thing is my smoke unit has cleared customs for Bismarck, so I'll be able to get back on that soon. I do have another video for Bismarck, God, I can't even talk, Bismarck to post before I even get back to started, that I previously had filmed for rigging, which I'll probably put that up in the next day or two. I just haven't put it on YouTube yet. I didn't mean to break that guy off there, but I don't know if I even had it on there strong enough anyway, so it's probably not the worst thing that came off, because I was already questioning it. But yeah, once the smoking unit gets here, I'm just waiting on a light strip, and we'll be ready to roll on finishing off Bismarck. And then I'm probably going to actually start the SS France really soon as well. That's a kit that I've had in the stash for a little while. I was already looking at it and not overly excited with the kit. It's going to take a lot of modification, but it should be fun. Just a lot to modify. Come on. And I didn't want that to happen, but it did. Okay, I'm going to cut that a little bit shorter. Okay, come on. We're almost there. We're almost home free. Just gonna do it again. Good Lord. I'm getting caught on the knot. I'm gonna have to go even shorter. So this is not giving me much to play with here. Where are my tweezers? I may end up having to retie string. You know what? I'm going to, because I'll spend more time screwing with that than I will just putting a new piece of string on it. Okay. And this one, you have to have it fairly close to the davit, otherwise it would be in the line of fire of the guns, so obviously you don't want that to happen. So all I did was tie it around here like that. That gives you the 2-rope look that you'd want for your pulley that we don't have, but it's on the davit supposedly in your imagination. I mean, there is something molded there on that one at least, but it's not overly detailed. Okay, that'll do it. So let me just hit it with some glue on both of them so they stay. And there we go, our boats are up. Okay, wonderful. Next up is our anchors. So the instructions on the anchors actually aren't terrible. Gotta go back to where they were. So it was supposed to, if you remember way back in like video 1 or 2, I had to make a new one of these because it was missing from the kit. So that is now there, and we have our piece of anchor here. So I'm going to cut it where the color begins, and we're going to dip some glue on it. Actually, I'm just going to use the toothpick routine, and we want it to come out of the second one here. So that's where the anchor chain is going to come out of. And the good thing is, since I painted this, it actually kind of stays a little straight, sort of, kind of, ish. Hoping. Well, enough that I can get the tweezer on it. And hopefully set it. And I think my glue dried already. Put up here. Yep. Sorry for my arm reaching across. Stuck to the need to get a better angle here. Probably would have been smarter if I would have just followed the directions and put this in way back in step 4 or 5 or whatever that was, but I didn't. Okay, there we go. It's on. I'm just going to add a tiny bit of glue to make sure it stays. I'll hit that with the accelerator because I just don't want it to come off while we're trying to do this. I'm going to cut the chain about here roughly. That should be more than enough. And then I'm going to set the chain on the other side as well. And I know you probably can't see, and I very much apologize. I can actually turn the gun, I think. Maybe not. I forgot if I glued them. I must have. Okay. I'm gonna hit that with the accelerator again. Okay, so now we have our chain here, and it wants it to come out of the second hole back. So I need to make sure that's poked through, because at one point I accidentally filled it with the UV glue that we were using for the windows, I knocked one of my rigging pieces loose, so we're gonna have to fix that, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal. I'm more concerned with just trying to get this to go through here. But if I run into an issue, which I already know I'm going to, we're going to try another trick here and just tie a piece of string onto one of the anchor chains, or onto a piece of the anchor chain length. Come on, go through that. There we go. So I had it. I'm only going to show this on one side because it's taking long to do this. Boy, oh boy. It's not even that I can't get it through the link. The weight of the chain is pulling down on the thread. There we go, I'm through. Okay, so I'm just going to tie it around here once. And then we'll pull the rope up through. It's not exactly what I wanted to have happen there. Geez, this is like dealing with a real anchor at this point. So, there we go. Now it's coming through. We want this to ride on that. Right there, basically. And then hang. And we're going to connect our anchor to that in a moment. So I need to figure out how far that needs to set, because the anchor basically sits like this, I believe. I gotta double check the picture on the directions. Or is it like that? Well, in any case, let me take a look and I'll be right back. Okay, so the anchor kind of rests on that spot right there, and then the little piece on the side of the anchor there rests on the ship, and then I brought it around and just glued the chain onto there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side right now. I'll do that off camera, and then we'll pretty much, I'll come back and we'll finish up the stand, and this is about done at that point. So I'm really excited. Like, I like how this turned out a lot. So yeah, let me go ahead and get this taken care of here, and we'll come back with the stand and basically a little bit of final this and that type stuff. And while I'm off camera, I'll also end up doing my final clear on everything. And I gotta fix this since I bumped both of them. But anyway, I'll be back. Okay, so we're gonna give this stand a try here. Got some new, what do you call it, stain, and picked up some ultra gloss clear. So yeah, that's much darker. This is a what is it called, dark cherry or something like that. And this will work much better because my furniture in the office is cherry as well. This probably would be a little bit easier with a stain brush, but I don't feel like going out to the garage and getting one right now. So we're just gonna dab it on. It's only really not taking it in this spot here because basically the green that's there. The other side edges seem to be taking stain okay, so we should be fine. I don't want it to dry before I get to wipe it off. I guess it probably won't. I don't know. It's been a while since I stained anything. And I've kind of gotten used to using those all-in-one stains, but this is not an all-in-one. Okay, so once I probably have to put one more coat on this, then I'll wipe it down and be time to clear it. But it definitely is closer to the shade that I wanted, so that makes me happy. Alright, let me see what happens if I wipe it once. Okay, I'm kind of liking it. I might do one more coat here in a minute. I'm gonna let this kind of set, and then I'll probably hit it with one more. I'm not happy in that corner there. I kind of there. Alright, so I'm going to pause it quick, and then we'll come back. Okay, so I got the stand done. There you can see it, and the ship is solidly on the stand now, so pretty darn happy with it. What I'm going to do now basically to finish this out, we're just going to take it up to the office, and I'll show you this, and I'll actually show you the Queen Mary too. I've actually never put that on video, so I'll give a shout out to that build. All right, be right back. Okay, so here we are. We have it on my desk now. You can kind of see all of the rigging and a lot of the details that we added on to the build. All in all, I'm really darn happy with how this turned out. You can see the anchors are on. We got that custom piece that we built in here. We have that custom compass tower there that we built back a few videos ago. You can see how the searchlights turned out. Pretty happy with them. All in all, I really got to say I'm happy with how this build turned out. I think it's going to be a nice piece on my desk. Back in the back there, you can see the Big U, the Constitution, and the Queen Mary 2. Might as well show them a minute. So Big U I did a couple years ago. Never actually finished the customization on it, so I'm still missing a lot of the bollards that go up here and all that kind of stuff. Someday I'll come back to that, but yeah, this was also a Glencoe kit. Did a custom bridge. I have a full video on the rebuild of this. This was actually a model I built back when I was like probably 15 years old, and it was in my parents' attic in really rough shape, so I stripped it down and redid it, added some photo etch and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, she's not 100% done yet. Need to do a little bit of cleanup on her, but yeah, there's that. And then here we got Queen Mary 2. Unfortunately, I built this one before I started the channel, and I have a lot of videos, or not videos, but photos of it on my Facebook page, but obviously I didn't have the channel then, so I didn't do any videos really. This is the original configuration when we still had the basketball courts and the tennis courts up on the front there. You can see the pool there has some people in it swimming. Those ones apparently I didn't light up. I thought I did, but I guess not. I know I lit up the further aft ones, and this one here, this one's definitely lit up, and you got some people there sunbathing and whatnot. I do have the sunroof cover, or the whatever cover it is you call it, that goes over this. Then we got the Queen Mary logo lit up. You can see there is some people even down here in the balconies sitting. I didn't put any furniture in. Looking back, kind of regret that, but whatever. Got a lot of people there. And then, yeah, back in through here, you can see there's even people down in the lower decks, like down in here, and I don't know how well you can actually see it, but there are people in there. Unfortunately, I built this one before I got good at concealing wires and stuff like that, so you can still see wires through it and all that kind of stuff, but you learn as you're going. A lot of photo etch going on this kit. This has the gold medal model kit on it for PE. And then back here we have our rear boats, and they're lit up, and a couple people swimming, and the hot tubs are filled, and same back here. So that was one of my favorite builds. It really was. I had a good time building that, and I've been asked a couple times if I'd build another one. I would consider it, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I just wanted to show them off a minute. And we got Constitution up there, still not 100%, but she's close. And then there's a Missouri I built years ago up there, 1350 Tamiya. But yeah, this video was all about that build. And I appreciate everybody that has tuned in and the interest in the in the Olympia build. So thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you next time, and we're getting ready to start the France and finish off the Bismarck. So thank you very much for tuning in.